Lorcana Locals!
Marvelous! Fight!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to more Lorcana Locals with your main man with a plan, TheXploder, Dom Coles. Hope everyone is doing good, looking good, and feeling good, as we are about to start another local game. I'm there on the left, playing a brand new Azure Broom deck, as I like to call it, with new tech from Azure Sea, as I'm going against Fraser, the Demon. Well, Fraser's just an insanely good player at our locals, and he's playing Amber, Ruby, Mufasa. So it's Mufasa versus Brooms, and it's going to be a tough one for me, but we're going to see what happens. Fraser kicks things off with the turn 1 Mulan comes in damaged. I will meet him with my turn 1 Illuminary Keeper. Very nice, very simple. 1 turn plays on both sides. Very nice. And then Mulan will simply quest for 1. Nice and easy. Very good start. As Fraser, turn 2, what's he going to ink? Tempted. He's going to ink that Lilo and play the Mother Gothel. The 3-4 comes in with damage as well. You may be thinking, huh? Damage characters? Yeah, because Rapunzel is a card that you can play in Amber, heal the damage, draw the cards. It's in the meta for a reason. Let's put it that way. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take my Illuminary Keeper, ram it into Mulan, so at least that'll control the board a little bit, and play out an Aerial Cleaner. Because like I've said in the previous game that I've commentated with this deck, I'm doing a more control-y style Broom list. It's a pseudo-control list, because I still feel as if Brooms are way better in aggro than they are in control, but every now and again I like to dabble back, see if the control elements do work in Brooms, just to see if it could possibly be better. I like it, I like the tech that it can bring out. I don't think it's the best in the world, but hey ho. Back to my turn, we play out a Yen Sid. Draw a card, because I do have an Aerial Keeper out, and we play out an Illuminary Keeper, which is fantabby-dozy, playing and paying all my ink for the turn, and I'm just going to sit still. Not going to question anything, not going to put anything out there the Fraser can directly whack into with the power of Mother Gothel, but it's okay, he doesn't need to worry about that. There comes Rapunzel, heal 3 damage, get 3 cards. That's why Rapunzel is pretty nuts. How many copies of Rapunzel do I own? Say it with me, everyone. None. Yeah. I have a grand 0, and that card's still pretty darn pricey on the markets. So, yeah, and you wonder why I don't play a lot of Amber decks. I just don't have Rapunzel. Rapunzel's really freaking great, and a fantastic source of card draw, especially in Amber Ruby with this combination with Mulan and Mother Gothel. It's very solid. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to ink a Yen Sid in my hand. I can quest with Yen Sid, go for 3 lore, and make that 4 and 5 if I quested with absolutely everybody. I'm going to play out a library. Ooh, cheeky. And as I play out the library, I'm going to pay the last 1 to think for a moment. And who am I moving in there? I'm going to move Yen Sid. And it makes the most sense because I believe I'm about to do the one thing with Yen Sid that I should do if I move Yen Sid into a library. And that's quest of everybody. Yeah, there you go. So that's 3, 4, 5 lore in one big bout. Yen Sid is in the library, so if he does get banished, I do get to draw a card. Library will help me gain 1 lore as well passively at the beginning of my turns. Nice, easy and simple. Not too bad. I did get shafted a little bit in my hand, but I can't blame my hand fully. Maui and Mother Gothel slam into the library to take it out. Very good move there by Fraser. No point taking out Yen Sid when the library is, quite frankly, the bigger threat. Makes perfect sense. But what the heck am I going to do with a big Maui boy, a healthy Mother Gothel, and a Rapunzel that's able to quest for 2? That's a big question, and I'm afraid I don't have a lot of answers in this deck of mine, which is a bit upsetting. But we're going to see what I end up doing with this confrontation out on the board. I decided to ink myself a Bucket Brigade. I could play it, but what have I really got in there? Illuminary Keeper and Library. Fraser's only got a Mulan, so there's no really point of playing that out and triggering the effect. I just play out Pete. Because quite frankly, I'm thinking, okay, if he has any direct removal or anything to help him out that's action related, I could shut that down. Maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't. I'm not too familiar with the Amber Ruby setup, so to say. I do know that Mufasa's obviously a thing inside of there. Ruby does have a lot of ideal removal, but it's mostly characters that on play do their removal. And same with Amber, actually. Amber just have a lot of on play do this. So the Amber Ruby makeup themselves don't really need a lot of actions or songs to really make things work. Of course, if you're doing Amber Steel song, that makes more sense, right? But in a Ruby Amber makeup, I believe you can pretty much go full-on characters if you really wanted to. And then you can benefit off of Mufasa with the maximum amount of triggers you could possibly get. You could benefit off of Rapunzel from having damaged characters here, there, and everywhere. Of course, Maui's going to be a threat. Potentially Maui Shark if you are going to splash in a couple of actions. But if you're not playing actions at all, there's no real point playing Maui Shark in the new SOC. And there's Gaston. It's not Quest with Gaston, I apologise. Use the effect of Gaston by exerting him. You pay 2 less for the next character you put out on the board next turn. This is scary. To put into pure, just out there basics, it's scary. Very scary board, very dominant board. Yes, I do have Brooms. Yes, I have Yensid. Yes, I have Pete. Yes, I've stopped Fraser from playing actions. But what's the point of stopping a guy from playing actions when he can just keep playing characters, and those characters are pretty darn mother-hubbing scary? Like, put it into perspective. Can't get rid of Rapunzel unless I commit 2 characters into it, and they'll survive. Can't get rid of Mother Gothel unless I shove 2 characters into her, and they will both get wrecked, which is a big sad face. Then you've got Maui to contend with. You've got Gaston to contend with, where if you don't want to use his effects, he's still a 2/4, so he can give a swing and take a little beating himself. That is a scary ass board, Mother Hubbards. Whatever will I do? Well, here we go. We're going to double check for Rapunzel with Pete. With the aerial cleaner, take 1 damage each. And I think I just needed to do that because he is gaining 2 lore every single turn. Then we're just going to go for it. We're going to quest big with Yensid questing for free, gaining my 1 quest off of the Luminary Keeper, go up to 9, and then we're going to pay all of that Wonga to play out Swifty. Wait, that's what I want to see. Play out the Swifty. Use the effect of a Luminary Keeper first in order to benefit from drawing a card. Then, using the effect of Swifty, shuffle both the Luminaries that I have in my discard back into my deck so that now they are both in there ready to get for later on. Fantastic move by me. Just remember, when it is your turn, you have control of which effects trigger in what order. So, if you are playing Brooms and you want to do that tech, be sure, activate the effect of a Luminary Keeper first, then Swift Cleaner, and then you guarantee that the Luminary Keeper that you just put into your discard is going to go back in your deck. Very, very solid. I have to ink myself a Sorcerer's Tower. Bit of a risky move there, but quite frankly, I just needed to do something. Managed to get rid of Mother Gothel. Maui does have targets on the board to tackle into, and Fraser is going to do just that, going into Yensid. Absolutely fine. And here we go. A little bit of control. I managed to get my aggro up a little bit so I can get up to 9 to match Fraser's 7. There's 2 damage on Maui with the Scar, zapping my very good boy Swifty, and the Swifty is gone. That Scar is very scary, by the way, and another Rapunzel comes out into play as well. More heal, more card draw. My god, Fraser, why? But yes, if you haven't seen that Scar, pretty scary. Quest for free. When you play him, you deal 2 damage to one of your characters, to then deal 2 damage to one of your opponent's characters. If you are using that tech in Amber and not using Rapunzel, why? Literally, that is a fantastic tech to use with a Rapunzel card. You saw it yourself. Maui did 1 damage, Scar did 2 damage to Maui, and then when Rapunzel came out, Rapunzel just healed all of that damage, and Fraser's back up with his cards. Fantabby-dozy, what a play. What a madness play. I then play out another library, if anything else, just to tease for Maui. Because I've got to tease something at this moment in time. But I'm going to move both characters into the library. And I'm now tempted. Do I even swing both of my guys into Maui to draw 2 cards? This is what I'm contemplating here. Because Pete none of them can basically get rid of Gaston by themselves. Well, they have to work together to get rid of Gaston anyway. So we both ram him into Maui. Sorry. Maui's gone. I draw 2 cards. Ink 1, put out Bucket Brigade. Let's have a look at my discard and see what I put back into the deck. It's Swifty. Absolutely. I've got enough Brooms in the deck to warrant getting Swifty back in. It's not as if I drew into any removal like Twin Fire or Left for Storm Ray John. So that's my best call right now. If I can just get my Rush Broom back into my hand, yes, it will shuffle my other Brooms back in, but at least it's a Rush Broom, and I can just rush in and tackle into something with 4 damage, which is pretty darn nice. Speaking of which, that is 4 damage on a Scar, that is 3 damage on a Vanellope Von Sweets with Evasive and Rush. There you go, both of them, all 3 of them, going to tackle into the library to take it out yet again. Fraser doesn't want me reading books. Obviously, he's a book hater. Naughty. But he plays out the Daisy, plays out the brand new Simba, where at the beginning of your, I believe at the end of your turn, if this card is exerted, you can ready all other characters, making that Simba, again, very, very good in this kind of matchup. And with those cards in general, it saves your aggro line, it saves your characters that have quirky effects like Gaston, it saves your Rapunzels, it saves your Scars for questing for anywhere between 2 to 3 every single turn. It's a beautiful little card to play out. You can shift it onto Baby Simba if you so wish to, if you want to use that matchup. I don't know if Fraser is in this specific deck, but I'm pretty sure he could potentially consider that in the future if he wanted to, or he's probably already using it. Or he has a reason not to use it because he's bound to be smarter than me. I have to play Friends on the Other Side raw for more card draw because I'm struggling. I'm not getting the cards I need. I'm not getting the answers I need. Fraser, yes, he's only on 7 lore, but look at that board. And look at my side. It's a very scary board, people. I need to effectively sweep this board clean. Do I have Grab Your Sword in the deck? About that. Kinda didn't have room for Grab Your Sword, and this is the big problem that I have with the control variant of Brooms. You want to put as many Brooms as possible in so you can benefit off of Mickey, Yensid, Playful Sorcerer and all that jazz, but you have to take so many Brooms out in order to cater to the control side, which is Twin Fire, Let the Storm Rage On, Grab Your Sword, Whole New World. And there's so many great steel removal or damage options that you want to put in a deck like this, that quite frankly you end up sacrificing so many Brooms, but it just doesn't work out the way you want to work it out anymore. At least in my eyes, playing this variant of Brooms again and again and again, consistently over pretty much every single set. And I love my boys' Brooms, but sometimes you just gotta know what your deck is good at and just keep with it. Even though I like experimenting with Brooms anyway, I think they are a perfect set of cards to experiment with. I end my turn with Industrial Model. I'm going to give Resist +1 to Yensid, but he's not questing this turn anyway. It's Fraser just quests with absolutely everybody. Daisy Trigger, check my top, get it into my hand because it is a character card. Fraser, all the way up to 16, plays out Double Mother Gothel and a Dock. I think I've lost. I have a strange inkling that I may have lost. I draw Simba triggers because it's the end of Fraser's turn. Every character's now ready. I'm not. I'm definitely not ready. Not with that kind of board. But what have I got? If anything. Can I do anything? Am I going to concede? I probably should. But I did get to 9 lore. Versus for 16. What have I got? With my blue thumb, because I did get injured in the last game. Not through the fault of my cards or my opponent, just because of how my skin is on my thumb at the moment. And we just do a whole new world, because why not? I need cards! I'm gagging for those cards, and they're just not coming out anywhere. Maybe I can sing Let the Storm Rage On with my Industrial Keeper and then play out a Twin Fire to be able to do some shenanigans, but even then, there's a lot of cards out there. What the hell am I going to do with this board? It's too big. The board is way too big, but here we go. Twin Fire. Deal 2 damage. What are we damaging? Let's face it. What are we even hitting at this point? Then I'm also going to discard a Industrial Model. We're going to take out the Gothels. The Gothels are gone. Great. Brilliant. Some may say crazy. But you know what else is crazy? the fact that I have no answers. And yeah, Fraser had another Rapunzel in his hand as well. Youch. But here we go. Playing out for Crab, because Crab's all I've got, and conceding. Great first game. Fraser's scary. What can I say? It's a very scary deck to go against. Great first game. I'll see you guys in game 2. Can Brooms make a comeback? Let's hope. Here we are. Game 2. Me, Fraser, Brooms, Mufasa. Freaking hell. What a game 1. After just having that board, I had 0 chance. But maybe I have a chance now. Turn 1 Illuminary Keeper. It's time. Time to pop off, hopefully. Fraser inks. And does he have a turn 1 play? Does he? Does he? Or is it back to my turn? I can't tell. It's been a while. Well, not a while since these games. These games were technically 1 week ago from when I'm recording this video. But it is my turn. I'm going to ink me a Food Fight Mickey. And with Food Fight Mickey over there, we're then going to pay the twosies in order to get the bucket. And then bucket has no triggers. I'm going to quest for 1 with a Luminary Keeper. I did not trigger a Luminary Keeper's effect. And there was a reason why. I just want to get characters out on the board and keep them out on the board as long as I possibly can. And if I can get an abundance of Brooms with the Sorcerer's Tower, maybe I can out-aggro Fraser quick enough to be able to catch him off guard and win the game. I think my big strategy here would have been to effectively keep playing Brooms as much as humanly possible, and then put out a Sorcerer's Tower when I have enough Brooms to move in there for free, and then move everything in, quest for 1 huge amount of lore, and basically look at Fraser and go, what you gonna do? If I could do something like that, I would have had this. I would have had these games, but you're gonna see me struggle. You are gonna see the struggle. There's Lilo. I'm gonna storm the Lilo, commit to some child abuse, but not in that way, and we're gonna quest for some extra lore. Quest for 2, go up to 3. Lovely stuff. And then turn 3, we see the Gaston play. Nice, quick, easy there. Back over to my turn, draw a card. I believe that might have been Pete, if I'm correct in thinking. Very quick games as well. Me and Fraser, we have a nice bit of banter whenever we're playing games against each other anyway, and even outside of the games of that. Big supporters of each other, big help with one another. And you know, it's nice to have that banter between the games, and this is why I really like my locals anyway. We all are like the same. We all like a bit of banter, but the more competitive versions of us, just we like talking about all sorts. The game, outside of the game, the competitive nature of it all, building up our meta decks, thinking of different strats, even when it comes to theme nights. And yeah, it's a really nice time. I'm going to pay 2. It's... oh wow, Lost for Way. So Lost for Way, we're going to exert Gaston, and then I'm going to discard an Illuminary Keeper to make it so that Gaston cannot ready at the start of Fraser's turn, stopping him from using his effect. So, with that in mind, a little bit of control there. Gaston is stuck in place. I'm able to quest for another 2, go up to 5, and we're kicking off. There is Super Goof. Super Goof's going to swing into a Luminary, gain 2 lore, by just simply committing to an attack and only taking a single damage. What a goofer. Then, what does that mean in my hand? I think I had the complete reverse issue that I had last game. Last game I didn't have any form of removal. This time I just didn't have any form of, like, curve. In my hand there was just 0 curvature, as far as I can remember. So, Ink Offense on the other side, play out a Pete, at least that'll stop those actions that don't exist, I think, in Fraser's deck. And yeah, I'm just going to wait it out. Can't do a lot. I could swing Pete into Super Goof later on if I ever so wanted to, in order to get rid of him. But for right now, it's not worth it. It's not cool. Not keen. He's going to pay the extra 2 to bring out Lilo. And the Lilo comes into play exerted as a result. Remember, if you are playing the new Lilo, you need to make sure that you commit to paying the 2 lore for the Lilo before you draw your card for turn. If you draw your card for turn and then commit to Lilo, you have not timed it correctly. And if you are playing this at a set championships or at a bigger championships or anything like that, judges can be called to call you out on that. Because effectively, you just mistimed. And it's a big mistime play because you've effectively played a character for 2 lore just illegally. Simple as. So be very careful whenever you're doing that. Plays out Scar, deals 2 damage to my bucket, gets rid of a bucket, quest with Gaston for 1. Absolutely fine and dandy. Not too bad at all. And he said, no, he didn't quest with Gaston. I do apologise. Used the effect of Gaston in order to get Scar out cheaper. That's what he did. Absolutely fine. I'm going to sing Friends on the Other Side repeat, draw 2 cards. There's an aerial cleaner. I like me an aerial cleaner. It's a good broom. There's an industrial model. We're going to give resist +1 over to Pete. So Pete is a 3/3 with resist +1. Will it help? Well, Scar can still get rid of him, but Scar will have to sacrifice himself in order to make that work. And I don't think Fraser would even care, because Fraser can now, at the moment, quest for, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lore, if he quested with absolutely everybody. Bearing in mind that Goofy can commit to an attack, get wrecked, but because he committed to an attack on a character, Fraser gets 2 lore. So with that logic, ooh, woof, the Rapunzel, heal 3, draw 3, now Goofy's absolutely fine and dandy. You can swing Goof into Pete. Pete only takes 1 damage, Goof takes 3 but lives. Fraser gets 2 lore for that, 3 off of Scar, 2 off of Lilo. It stacks, people. It friggin' stacks. Look at the Lilo plays. The children are out. Ooh, the fear-inducing kids riding on their mini surfboards. How dare they? So here we go. Big questing fun times. We're going to go 3 with Scar, 2 with Lilo, 1 with Gaston. We're going to swing into Pete. With Goof. No! Goof did not swing. It was only a quest with Goof. Instead, going for the 1 lore. Absolutely fine. Absolutely dandy. 9 lore over on Fraser's end. 5 on mine. As I have an industrial model, an aerial cleaner, and a Pete ready to referee. What the hell am I going to do with a board like this? Like I said in the first game, there's no grab your sword. There's obviously, because I'm running Amethyst Steel, I don't have a lot of options when it comes to direct removal. There is no be prepared. There is nothing like that yet in this color scheme as of when I'm recording this video. So what in the blue daylights am I going to do with a board that's already looking fairly scary? There is a lot of thinking on my side of the board, and this is scary. I don't blame myself for being this thinky. You just got to bear in mind, again, store championships or big championships, if you do take your time too much, judges can be called. And if you're potentially stretching for time, you could be called out on it. I know that's not what I'm doing here, but that's for me to know. Fraser knows, because we play at Lucas all the time. We know I'm just thinking. But for other people, if you're at store championship and you're playing against people you never played with before, they don't know if you're stalling for time. They could just call you out on anything. So you've got to be careful. Couple of swings in, play out the Merlin Crab and make my aerial cleaner much, much bigger. Swing into the Scar, survive, do all this, bish bash bosh, get rid of some Lilos. Okay, simple control. Pays for 2, brings back the child. Of course Fraser does, puts some intimidation out on that board. Because the trick is, yes, you have to pay 2 every time to bring Lilo out, but Lilo's a consistent threat. So if you don't get rid of Lilo every single turn and your opponent's like, okay, pay 2 for Lilo, it's a consistent 2 lore threat that you're going to have to get rid of or commit resources to every single time, which is a bit of a pain for you. It plays out the big Surfer Stitch, is able to draw 2 cards, which is brilliant, and then quests with the other Lilo, Gaston, and Rapunzel for 5 lore, goes up to 13. Back over to my turn, play out the Yen Sid, draw a card because I do have Aerial Cleaner out on the board. And it's still big scary fun times. But I cannot get Crab to die. That is the problem. I'm looking at this board and I'm thinking, can I axe my own Crab in order to buff something up to get rid of something else? I just can't. So I'm going to swing Pete back into Lilo, consistently getting rid of the children. If you can't tell, I'm anti-child, obviously, in this game at this point. Plays out a second Crab. Second Crab is going to put Challenger +3 on probably Aerial Cleaner again, because why not? Aerial Cleaner. Swinging in to... Ooh, is he now? Is he now? That's the question. Aerial Cleaner is going to probably get axed. at this moment in time, and I'm being logical about it as well, has to swing into the Gaston, gets rid... Oh no, actually gets rid of Rapunzel because I'm big enough to do it. Why the heck not? Absolutely fine and dandy. And then I do have the other crab. Other crab is going to bash into the other Lilo. So now the crab is low enough to get axed by the Gaston. So it'll be handy for next turn. But as for right now, not so handy. And the Yensid's just going to sit there doing absolutely nout. You can tell where my problem probably is in this game. Where's my Brooms? Just where are they? I'd like to know. Would you like to know? Because I definitely like to. I made the deck. They're in there. They're just not coming out. Fraser's just going to pay 4 before drawing his card for turn. Get out both Lilos. Very scary. Yet again. Inks a new Judy Hopps. And uses Gaston's effect in order to play out Medusa. Gets rid of the Yen Sid. The control begins. Surfer Stitch, going to quest for 2, go up to 15, keep the pressure on. Next turn, that is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 lore over on Fraser's side of the board, so I need to get in there and start making some magic happen. So what the heck am I going to be doing here? I wonder. This is also bearing in mind that if I put a crab into Gaston and then put the crab's challenger +3 on Pete or the other crab, it's still not enough to get rid of a Stitch. So the Stitch being a 4-8 is a very big threat. And effectively, I do need to get rid of, what are we on at the moment? 16, 17, 18. If I can get rid of both Lilos and just make sure the Lilos are off board by the time it comes to Fraser's next turn. Fraser's only on 19. That's the best thing I can probably do right now. I can get rid of both Lilos and the Gaston reliably, which is cool, but it will require me to basically sack my entire board to make this work. So instead, we're going to sing Let the Storm Rage On. We're going to deal 2 damage. Who am I going to deal 2 damage to, I wonder? One of the Lilos! Get it out of there. Draw a card. Here we go. Cross your fingers, folks. Can I make the most beastly comeback of this series of games? Probably not, but we're going to hope anyway. It's library. I'm going to move the 2 crabs into library because now I've got myself a sneaky bit of tech. The damage crab is going to bash into Gaston. Die, give challenger over to the other crab. I'm going to draw a card because the crab died at the library. Now what in the blue hell am I going to do, bearing in mind that I have a big 6-3 crab that can bash into something very bigly, but needs to do it now. And effectively, I need to smash into something, and that something better be that Lilo. Because if I don't bash into that Lilo and take Fraser only to 19, there you go, I just had to do it. So take 1 damage on the crab. Lilo has been bodied. I ink a Bucket Brigade to play out a food fight Mickey, and you can tell my Brooms are nowhere to be seen. They are just invisible to me right now. Pete does nothing. Food fight Mickey's doing nothing. Even Crab doing nothing. The library, big fat nothing. I'm surrounded at this moment in time by a big batch of nothing juice. That's effectively what's going on. There's another Surfer Stitch, which therefore means another 2 cards to be drawn by its effect. Very, very nasty. And then inking Mufasa. I don't know whether that's supposed to be an insult, Fraser. How dare you? No, I doubt it. But plays out the Daisy Duck to guarantee the 2 lore next turn if I cannot get rid of her. We're now sitting on 19. I have to wipe the board. That's the only way I'm going to stay in this game. I need to either wipe the board or come out with some crazy, absolute mad lad play that somehow gets me from 5 to 20 this turn with only, 1 card in my hand? Yeah, that 1 card. The most dangerous card in all of Lorcana. Whatever the heck it could be. Yeah, you can tell this is over. It's just a matter of when would I like the pain to end? Would I like it to end now? Or would I like it to end later? Let's find out. Crab's going to go into Gaston. Crab's going to die. I'm going to get a card off of a crab because of the library. That could help. Extra card draw, you never know. I could build this up to make a sweet booty comeback. I just don't know. Let's thinky here. Effectively Fraser's pointing out, yeah, you need to get rid of my dudes. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get rid of you dudes. But can I get rid of your dudes? Don't know. We're going to tackle into Madame Medusa with Mickey Food Fight, but gets Challenger +3 because of a crab that got wrecked in the library earlier. So I draw another card. Madame Medusa's gone. That's one card. But, well, technically 2 if you count Gaston as well. 3 more to go. Move Pete into the library. Pete, smack into Stitch. Stitch take 3. Pete goes. I get 1 card. Please. Please let me have something that can do something. Please. Anything, please. It's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. It's a Pete and a Billy Burns. No broom. This game can be simply defined as the no broom game. Where are my brooms? They're just nowhere to be found. I've basically conceded at this point. But Fraser's adamant. No, I need my last turn. It's going to bring back both Lilos. Oh, the Chad. Gonna pay out all that 4 ink to bring out both of those Lilos. Then, what has this mad lad got in his hand? He's going to ink another Judy Hopps. He's going to play out another Scar. He's going to deal 2 damage to one of his boys to get rid of Billy Bones. Billy Bones can get rid of my own library, but there's genuinely no point. He's going to quest for 2 with the Stitch. Insult to injury. Curse you, Fraser. I lose again. But great times, nonetheless. Great fun times. If you enjoyed these games, you want to check out more games or more explosive action, go down near where the description is, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more explosive action. In the future, while you're down in the description, you've got a bunch of my social links where you can follow me for even more explosive action. You can leave your comment, you can share with your friends, share with other Lorcana peeps that you play with or know of that may find this just as entertaining. Do it! Do it now! Stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay explosive. I'm seeing you guys next time.